I had never wanted to punch someone and kiss them in the same breath until I met him. He walked into my life like a thunderstorm wrapped in a tailored coat, and my body reacted in ways it was never supposed to. New York in late November was a place where people kept their heads down, hands in pockets, rushing to wherever they had to be. I was one of them. Evan Carter, 26, a librarian who loved rules, schedules, and the quiet comfort of anonymity. Being a beta meant I never had to worry about the biological chaos that defined alphas and omegas. My world was predictable, safe. Boring, maybe, but safe. Then he came in. He wasn't supposed to. The library was closing in 10 minutes when the heavy glass door swung open, letting in a blast of cold wind and a tall figure with wet hair and eyes that could cut through concrete. His presence felt wrong. Not in a bad way, more like a song I'd never heard before but somehow knew all the words to. "Sorry, are you still open?" His voice was deep, confident, with that New England polish that made every syllable sound deliberate. "We're closing soon," I said, clutching the book cart like a lifeline. He stepped closer, shaking rain from his coat. The smell hit me first, clean, sharp, but with something underneath. Something that made my chest tighten and my skin feel too hot. Impossible. I was a beta. This wasn't supposed to happen. "I'm looking for something," he said, lowering his voice like we were sharing a secret. "Something about biology." I should have pointed him toward the science section and walked away. Instead, I found myself walking him there, acutely aware of how his arm brushed mine, how his gaze lingered a fraction too long. His name was Lucas Hale. And Lucas Hale was trouble. By the third time he came back, I stopped pretending it was about the books. He'd linger, asking about obscure topics, his fingers grazing mine when I handed him something. Each time, the heat under my skin grew. I told myself it was just curiosity, that maybe I'd caught a winter fever. But curiosity didn't make your heartbeat sync with someone else's. One night, a snowstorm trapped us inside. The power went out. The library fell into darkness, and I could hear his breathing in the quiet. "You're not a beta," he said softly, like he'd just confirmed a suspicion. I laughed, sharp and defensive. "Pretty sure I'd know if I wasn't." "Would you?" He stepped closer, and the warmth of him was like standing too close to a fire. "Because your scent is saying otherwise." And then it clicked, the unexplainable heat, the restless nights, the way my pulse jumped when he was near. My whole life had been built on the wrong truth. The rest of that night blurred into moments I can still feel in my bones. His hand brushing my cheek, the steady weight of his gaze, the storm outside mirroring the one inside me. But I pulled back before anything could happen. I wasn't ready to set my whole life on fire. Lucas didn't push, but he didn't leave either. The following weeks were hell. My body was changing. My mind was unraveling, and every instinct screamed to be near him. At work, I kept my head down. At home, I stared at my ceiling, fighting against something I couldn't even name. Then came the day everything broke. A confrontation in the alley behind the library. Two alphas I didn't know, their sense aggressive, voices mocking. Before I could react, Lucas was there, pulling me behind him. His jaw was tight, his voice low but deadly. They backed off, but the damage was done. I knew now that my world was never going back to what it had been. The truth came out slowly about who I really was, about what I meant to him. He confessed one evening, standing in the golden spill of my kitchen light, that he'd known from the moment we met, that he'd tried to keep his distance, but couldn't. And I, God help me, didn't want him to. Our first kiss wasn't fireworks. It was something quieter but deeper, like coming home after being lost for years. His lips were warm, patient, and when his hand cupped the back of my neck, I knew I wasn't going anywhere. I'd lived my whole life believing I was something I wasn't. Now I was learning that truth didn't destroy you, set you free. And Lucas Hale was my freedom. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with the latest videos.